You're watching News 4 Utah.
Welcome back. A Utah woman who got pregnant at 16 and then got married soon after wants lawmakers to raise the legal age of marriage. Tonight, News 4 Utah's Jen Jacobson introduces us to Heidi Clark and explains why she and others are so passionate about making this change in Utah.
At 16, Heidi Clark had big hopes and dreams.
I believed in the importance of an education, a college education, in a marriage that lasts.
But the trajectory of her life changed when she got pregnant and felt pressure to marry.
In theory, I look happy. I'm smiling. But I also see that I was just a teenage girl.
Clark says her marriage soon became physically and emotionally abusive. She says she stayed too long.
He became abusive, and I would have had the opportunity to see that happening before I married him if I hadn't married him when I was a child. I don't want to see other girls go through what I went through.
Data shows more than 200,000 Americans under age 18 married between 2000 and 2015. Utah is in the top third of all states. Most underage spouses are women.
We're supposed to protect our children. It says a lot about a society of how they protect the most vulnerable among them. 17 is still a child. We should protect them.
Clark hopes to share her message with lawmakers the next legislative session.
It saddened me because that's not the only story I've heard. I've heard from various women who were forced to get married by their parents, whether they were 16, 17, that landed up in abusive situations.
Representative Romero says this bill is her #1 priority. She says raising the legal age of marriage is about protecting children and gender equality.
Representative Romero says she's trying to raise the legal age to 18.
I think 18 is too young myself, but 18 is kind of the age where you're allowed to vote, you're allowed to sign legal contracts, and so that is I think a well-rounded number. I think that number makes sense.
Romero says this bill is also about helping society.
If you look at the research, people aren't really developed emotionally until age 25. And so this is a really important decision in your life, and if you get married at 16, you have no legal rights.
In Orem, Jen Jacobson, News 4 Utah.
Representative Romero says right now she's in the drafting phase of this bill. She hopes to see lawmakers raise the legal age of marriage during the next legislative session.